You've touched on a few things, deep learning, for example, AI, which you can't escape. We're all thinking about AI at the moment. It's endemic, and it will continue to be so. Even in my own industry, artificial intelligence is something that is a part of what I do in terms of the search engines and databases that I use are driven on artificial intelligence, and machine learning as well. So that's been interesting to see it kind of eke its way into my job, which has traditionally been quite phone,
Yeah.
email, not Rolodex. I'm not that old, but it's been
Okay.
that has existed at some point as well. So what I'd ask you as well is just regarding the trends in the industry that you've seen, and I would say that we all probably know the trends. So where do you see perhaps the future of your industry or sector taking you?
Yeah. Well, I think, honestly, at the moment, you see most of the kind of roles being advertised from data scientist point of view in kind of startups and tech forward and kind of, everybody who's all about the, using data in a kind of as part of their business model as opposed to a side effect from their business activities, or like an offshoot, kind of like, let's say, insurance industries, their general or sorry, insurance companies, their general business model doesn't revolve around AI, but a lot of data is included in their their data warehouses or whatever, and they
Yeah.
could benefit from it. So at the moment, they're not the big hiring people, I would say. But what I would say is that eventually they're big, slow moving ships. I think they'll take a bit of time to move the the direction of where they're going. But when they do, I think you'll have all these like traditional big companies who you might look at them and say they're not very agile or whatever, but eventually they will have to be. Um,
Yeah.
and you'll basically see data science as just a normal function in every company. I think because I mean every nearly every company and every business that you can think of, well, there's data being generated as at a crazy rate at the moment. So,
Yeah.
and every business can benefit from that and kind of unearth intelligence or whatever value patterns. However, there's different use cases, but I think to kind of be concise about it, I suppose that there's a lot of hiring now and there's a lot of availability in the tech kind of industry around data science. But I think as it gets more mature and companies, bigger, kind of less traditional data centric companies, kind of get more. I want to be. I don't want to be kind of using terminology to make some, kind of makes them sound like a bad thing. But you know, when they do kind of change their view on these things, I think it'll be like a normal function. It'll be like HR or finance, in a company
Gotcha.
will
Gotcha.
be different.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool, and that makes sense. By the way, slow moving ships. I'm gonna steal that one. That's pretty that's well said. Very descriptive. I know exactly what you mean by that.